Okay.
Okay. Wow.
So excited. Okay, so we are at Taylor's first competition. First bodybuilding competition, bikini,
Yes.
2025. How do you feel?
Really good.
Okay.
Very excited.
What show are we doing?
We are doing the NBC Iowa Naturals.
Naturals. So we're a natural athlete. Wait till you see our glutes. They're amazing. That's big. That's huge. Like your physique is going to be, you're going to see tomorrow as a natural athlete. Like you have a really, really good glutes and delts. Like I'm so pumped for you. Okay. So this is just an interview questions I have for her to tell y'all how it feels to do her first bodybuilding show, how it felt to do her first prep, all the feels, and it could be, we're going to talk mindset, physical feels, all the things. So I just have a list of questions here, and then, yeah. Okay?
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Okay, let's know, number one, everybody asks all the time, what made you decide to compete? So first of all, I'm Gracie. I'm her coach.
Yes.
And so she's been with us, or me since when? Or us since when?
Let's see. I started with Alyssa in 2023, I think. Like I think I've been in total almost 2 years.
Yes.
So October of 2023, I started with Alyssa, and I think I did 6 to 8 months with her, and then was like, nope, I do want to compete.
Yeah. What was
transitioned her.
Did you follow competitors before you joined Urban Fitness?
I did.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
So I found Alyssa through I've always been a gym girl, always really liked the gym, lifting, all that, and then I found Alyssa on Instagram and a bunch of other fitness influencer people, and had always thought about getting a coach, but really thought I could do it on my own. So I dabbled in the tracking my macros and all that silliness by yourself. And then I was like, you know what? Clearly I'm not doing it myself right.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not sure I'm ready to compete yet. Let me just work with a coach and get my shit together.
Yeah.
And then so I started working with Alyssa for that 6-ish months, and then I was like,
I'm ready.
Okay, yep, let's go.
Let's go.
So,
that's awesome. So 2023, just make that note. So start with us in 2023. It's 2025. And I was looking at and I still haven't put your all your pictures together, but I started because I'm gonna put together a timeline for you. But I started it, and what I really am impressed about is the fact that, and I don't think it was September 2020, or maybe earlier, summer 2023, I think is about when you started. You never said anything to us about, I feel fluffy, or I feel can we do a mini cut, or you literally just did the work. You trusted the process, which I don't even think I've told you this. And I was telling my husband this because before I came here, I was like, I've never had a client really, to be honest with you, just trust me so much that she didn't even question when is a cut, when can I prep, what is the next step? A lot of clients are like, what is next? And you never did that. And I wanted to tell you I'm proud of you. I mean, I am for that, because that just allowed you, that's why you can enjoy it. That's why you have enjoyed it so much so far.
Yeah,
you know?
and I love the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I truly think that stepping on stage or not, the body building is what I love.
Yeah. And but you stay in present and saying, this, I love this part. I'm gonna love the next part too.
I love all the parts,
right.
But this is the part.
Yeah, this part right now is what I love right now.
Yep.
And when it's time to love that, I'm gonna love that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, you built a physique and the metabolic and the hormonal health and the mental health.
Yeah.
That people take years to build. So I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And I don't think I've told you that yet, because I was literally did that before I left. I was like, look at her. It's awesome. So I'm very, very proud of you. And it should just be full circle at this point, because you've done the work, all of the work.
It feels very full.
It does.
It feels very full circle.
Yeah. It's and it's one decision. I was talking to somebody the other day about your one decision to say, you know what, Taylor, you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay. It's okay to not know. Let me just put somebody in place that does know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know her very well, but I'm going to trust her, and then we're going to do this together. Like, that decision changed your life.
Yeah.
You know, and the power of decisions, and I teach all that in my coaching, the power of every decision, to be honest with you, has the potential to change your entire life. You know, and that's huge.
And if you are like kind of on the fence, just do it.
Just try it.
Just try it. Like, I was like, okay, I kind of had the idea when I started with Alyssa, if I, like, competing was a little, like, dim light.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I gotta get my shit together first. I can't just go and do this.
Right.
And what if I don't even like the lifestyle
Right.
that you have to do? So.
Yeah. So, all to say, just try it. Just try it. Try any, and it goes to anything. Like, if you think, just try it.
Yeah.
And what's gonna hurt? Like, that's what, even like training, as we train, like, just try 35 pounds. I mean, you're gonna figure it out before you drop it on yourself.
Right, yeah.
You put it down, you know? Just try it. And that's where that's
And if you have to
the
bail,
dance.
then you bail.
Bail. And that goes to everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just try it. Just try it. You're not, that's like the line you want to dance of, because that's where you're gonna grow.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Let's keep going. What's been the most challenging part of prep, and how did you get through it? Of prep, not the reverse. Let's go to that in a minute.
Okay. Of prep, I honestly feel, and granted this is my first prep, but you hear like and read horror stories online of like, I'm doing 2 hours of cardio and eating 0 of everything,
Yeah.
or like today I had 0 carbs or whatever. And honestly, my prep hasn't been as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Good.
Because I already was doing the things and I felt so physically and mentally prepared.
That's because of the work we did in the reverse part, in the first part of your season. So I guess let's start there. Like, what would be that part? Let's start with that. What was the hardest part of your initial, let's just say, year? So like reversing, you already did training.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the hardest part of the reverse diet part?
Reverse.
And it could be trusting that the process is what, you know.
Yeah. I honestly would say, obviously you have to like play and figure out like how to actually do your macros and like what works for you. And it was a lot of like, okay, I can't just eat
Pizza and the
I can't
Oreos.
have pizza and Oreos in the same day just for like fat content, not because they're bad or whatever.
Right.
But like it's
Creating
finding,
that balance.
it's creating the balance and like figuring out the macro puzzle, but also finding the foods that like work well with you.
Right. And like your lifestyle and like things that you like. She's married, so they'd have date night, things like that. Like, and that's the fun. And like people think it is a task, and for me and for you, it's fun. Like it's fun to be able to go out with my husband, dine out at his favorite restaurant, and know also that I'm also moving towards my goals.
Right. Yeah.
So I can be present, and that's the game, and I like to play it, and you like to play it,
and I like to play it.
And so it's never been a chore.
No.
It's all, and so that's a huge mindset shift too, because you have to eat. This is what I teach my girls. You got to eat, so might as well have a little bit of plan.
Right.
If we can have a good plan, then that's what we want. But because life's gonna hit, and you're not gonna have 100% plan every single day.
And I think letting go of the idea of being perfect was a huge hiccup or like challenge for me, because I wanted to be like, if my macros were 110 carb, 100 grams of protein, like if I was 109, I was like, nope. And I would redo everything, and I'm like, what is that 1 gram going to do? Why am I stressing over 1 gram?
What helped that? What helped get over that? Was it our coaching, or was it?
Yes, I think like you did a podcast on like striving for perfection, but knowing that essentially no one is perfect.
Right.
So yes, you can better yourself and you can strive to be perfect, but we don't need to waste the time and the energy worrying about 1 gram of protein.
Right.
So I think that was a big hump for me to get over, especially initially, because I wanted to do it and I wanted to do it fucking good.
Yeah.
So.
And that's a
that was
lot of people. That's people will not start because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so start and give yourself this. And this is what I always try and tell people. And this goes to every part of life. You don't know. You've never done this. So what makes you think that you're going to be perfect?
Right.
You know, and this goes to everything, even in marriage. I don't know how to be a wife, so I'm trying to figure it out. And you know what I mean? So if you have that mindset, because I'm a perfectionist, and I expect myself, at this point in my career, obviously, I expect myself to be perfect. But I have 13 years of knowledge to justify that. You, as a nurse, you have all the years, you have that. You can be a perfect nurse. Apply that to every part of life, and then the perfectionism is humbled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, well, let me just, and I think people say give myself grace. I don't really like that phrase just because I don't really understand what it means. I think just being real with yourself.
Right. I think there's a fine line of like giving yourself grace and letting yourself kind of like slack off too.
Mm-hmm.
You can give yourself grace, but you also need to hold yourself to that higher standard if that's what you really want.
Yes, if that's key. Like if that's what you really want. Like people have to understand that.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, I'm gonna go to med school and you can't even go to like your freaking gen ed classes.
Right.
Like you can't even show up for class. Well,
right.
Then you're sure as fuck not gonna be a doctor.
Right.
So like all aspects of life.
Yes.
Strive for perfection and hold yourself to that high standard, but not like obsess over it and know that perfection doesn't really exist.
Right. And if if you want to be perfect, you can be perfect. But you have to take, when you say one, you gotta want it. Like, so my dad's always told me you can do anything you want to do, but you gotta want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't kind of want to do it, you can't see what happens, you got to want to do it. So if you want to be perfect, then when you make that decision, everything that comes along with that, the time, the energy, the sacrifice, the obsession. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. And I've taken so much, and I would never say I've wasted time. You know, I've sacrificed time, energy, and effort the last 13 years to be obsessed. You know, so you can be perfect if that's what you want to do, but take on all the things that come along with being perfect. And if you're okay with that, then you're going to be the damn most perfect macro tracker in the whole wide world. You know what I mean? And so, and again, that goes to everything. So you can I want you to be perfect, but I want you to also take on all the things that come along with that.
Right.
And then be okay with that, and then we're going to be sky's the limit. You know what I mean? Or you can say, I'm going to be 99.9%, and I'm going to achieve excellence, and that's what I want. Because then I don't have to sacrifice X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so therefore she was prepped here before her prep, right? Yeah. That's what made...
We called it the prep before the prep.
The prep. Yeah, that's what makes prep so simple, is the work that you do before prep. And it's so nice, isn't it?
It's so nice.
It's just coasting. We're just coasting along.
Yeah. And I just eat a little less.
Yeah.
Walk a little more.
Yeah, it's like when I describe my prep, people are like, oh, when are you going to start prep? And I'm like, I don't really ever start prep. I just drop food a little bit. And the same thing with you. Like, it was just like, and then same thing goes on the reverse side. Like, we'll just go back up gradually. And it's nice because there's no extreme. And that's the ultimate goal of everything in life. Emotions, everything, is we just want to be here.
Yeah, we just want to coast.
Coast. Was there ever a moment you wanted to give up?
Honestly, no.
Good.
No.
Good.
There were some days where I was like, man, this fucking sucks. I'd be walking and I'd be like, I do not want to be walking right now. Doing my cardio, but I'm like,
what did you ever think, like?
And it was more because like my cardio got up to 45 minutes, and it was mostly because I was like bored.
Yeah.
Because I'm just walking on the treadmill, walking my incline walk, and I'm like, nobody's put out any new YouTube videos for me to watch.
Yeah.
Like, so I'd be like gawking around. So that was like the only aspect, but there was never a time where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Good.
So
like that was what I was gonna ask. Was there, when you ever, and this goes to every goal you'll ever have. If there's ever a time, or even like your marriage, if there's ever a time that you're second guessing a decision that you've already made, I want you to really ask yourself, like, is there something outside that's making me
Right.
question this? Because I teach y'all how to make good decisions. So
Yeah.
every decision is intentional. So why did I make this 6 months ago? Like, there must be something outside. That helps me know that, all right, it's not what I'm doing.
Right. It's something
It's
else.
something
like,
else.
stressing me that's making this maybe more
Pressure,
difficult
yep.
in this moment.
Yep. That's huge for you to recognize. Because then you just stay the course.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be hard days, you know. If it was not hard, everyone would have it. Everyone would do it.
Yeah.
So, yes. Okay. That was a good talk. What has surprised you the most about yourself during this journey?
Myself, I feel like I have gained so much self-confidence and like belief and not self-worth, but almost like self-worth, just like, yeah, that's me. I did that and I'm fucking proud of it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that's very different from like I said earlier, I'm a little more introverted. If you know me, I'm very soft-spoken most of the time, just kind of quiet, reserved. And I feel like this has brought me out of my shell a little bit, and it has brought me to carry myself with confidence. Not that I wasn't unconfident before, I was just kind of like, meh, okay, like, this is who I am, whatever.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, this is who I am.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And
ask me about my diet. Ask me about my cardio. Ask me about my life.
Yes.
Let me tell you.
Yes. And it's not because we do it right. Like, that's the big thing that I had to, like, over all my years say, this is not the right way. There is not a right way. But for me, if you're asking about me, if you're asking about you, this is what we're doing. This is what works.
Yeah.
You can do it. You don't have to. It's up to you. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of people, especially at the beginning, so I'll ask you, and I remember you going through all the transitions of having like friends and asking questions, and you're like, I don't even know the answer because I don't know what I'm doing, so it's hard to answer that. So then you feel this pressure, and then you drink or you eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and I feel like that's also can be something that was kind of like a challenge or like the most challenging.
100%.
Is like I went from like kind of tracking my food to not tracking my food on my own, and then I would just measure my protein, and then I'd be like, you know what, F it.
Right.
And then I was very persistent and very consistent in the gym and very like focused on me and my health and like explaining to that to even my husband is like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, well, this is how I'm taking care of myself.
Yes. Yeah.
And
and not everybody understands that, and that's something else early on. Like, so when I started tracking, I didn't know anybody that tracked. I didn't have a coach or anything, so that was really unheard of. You know what I mean? And so I just shielded. Like, I just didn't go out. I didn't do anything, and because I had no answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for y'all, it's so important to me I'll tell y'all, have them call me. Tell them that I tell you what to do, and that just protects you. You know what I mean? But I remember that was the hardest part, and that is why people fail every single day. Is because they can't take that pressure. And when people just need to stop putting the pressure on you in general. Like, if you're eating, let me eat.
Yeah.
Let me eat. Let me be me, and you be you, and then everybody's happy. You know what I mean?
And my family has been super supportive. Like, they know I bring my own food home. They know I'm bringing my scale. Like, they know I need to go work out.
Yeah.
And then that I'm not going to drink. And
Yeah.
that's just lifestyle choices that I've made. And they're like, yeah, that's
awesome.
what you do. That's what you do. Like, and I've put, when people ask me, I've put a lot of emphasis on, like, if we're going to a social event, we're going to socialize. We don't have to eat the same food. I don't care that you're slamming Four Locos and pizza.
Yeah.
Why do you care if I have my rice cakes and whatever?
Yes,
Like,
that's huge.
it's not about the food. It's about the
intention.
just spending time with people. So
Right. That's huge.
Yeah.
And that goes back to intention. Like, I'm not here to celebrate this food.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk to you.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so when you bring that awareness, and then when we say that to people, they'll be like, they get defensive, like, oh, well, I'm not here to celebrate food. Well, then don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about the food. Like, just look at me, talk to me, don't worry about nothing else. And that's very clear to me. That's a black and white way of telling people where their intentions are.
Yeah.
So just focus. You know what I mean? And some people, my dad is one of them. And I'll use this example all the time. My dad loves food. And my dad loves food because as a child, he didn't have a lot of food.
Yeah.
So as an adult, he likes to go out and dine out. And so he will never come to me and say, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
Because he knows better, because he can't love food like he does. And
do what we do.
do what we do. I mean, you can, but there's only so much you can do, you know? Okay.
And even I want to add
Go ahead,
something
yeah,
real quick. And even being on prep, like, life doesn't stop for prep. So go to Easter, go to breakfast. Like, we went to, thank you to my work family who still invited me to do things.
Yes.
And acknowledge that I'm just going to have my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to have water. I'm not going to have breakfast.
It's so nice.
But thank you for inviting me, because life and your people
and that's like
stop for prep.
Right. And that,
or any diet or wherever you are, like life doesn't stop. So you have to spend it
and
with
like
people.
And that comes down to again decisions, making sure that the people that you're choosing to allow in your life align with you. Like a lot of my clients, or not just my clients, but a lot of people, they forget to choose those people so when they decide, let's say I'm gonna change my life, that's a decision where all these people that don't align with the life that you want have to go. Or you gotta just tell them to shut up, one or the other. But you can't be in the middle, or you're gonna get stuck. And you're gonna have to make a decision between you or these people.
And that's where that pressure comes in.
Pressure comes in.
And then people get overwhelmed. Well, my best friend since, we were yay big.
Yeah. I lost a lot. I mean, I say I lost a lot. You really don't. When you're on the journey to find yourself, you don't lose nothing. You lose nothing that you need to keep going, But I lost a lot of friends at the beginning of my journey because I didn't drink anymore. I went from being a party girl to not drinking at all because that was the best for me and my future, and my future husband and family. And now, 13 years later, I can circle back, but the key was being consistent, like what we were saying earlier.
Right.
You can't be drinking sometime and drinking sometime. They're not going to know how to handle you.
How to approach you. Should I invite you to Wingo, which is wine and bingo? Should I not? Invite them to wine and bingo, but don't expect them to drink wine.
Right. But you can't be iffy. You got to be one way.
This is who I am.
This is who I am.
You have to be true to that.
Yes. And so I know I let you, or you filled out the Woman I Want to Be worksheet. That was probably at the very beginning.
Yeah.
I had this worksheet where they clearly define, and actually I was going to do it this morning. I'm going to update it because I was doing it on myself. Just because you evolve as a woman from A to B and the B to C and all the way. And that worksheet, I feel like, helps you clearly see the woman you want to be. And then it becomes easy. This decision aligns, or this decision does not align. Would you say that?
Yeah.
It became more easy to make decisions.
It clearly defines, okay, who am I now, and who do I want to be? And then from, if there's discrepancy between the two, okay, what do I need to do to be who I want to be?
Yes. And
then just fucking do it. Just show up as who you want to be, even if you're not her yet.
Yes, that's huge. That's even like, especially in this world, the competition world, you show up like a pro from day one. Yeah. And you hold yourself like a pro from day one. People ask me all the time, am I a pro? I'm like, I barely made it to nationals. But I hold myself that way.
Yeah.
I talk that way. I hold myself, my posture, everything. And that's how you live into that woman, and this goes to everything, your job, your marriage. You never want to be you. It's like you want to always be the next you. Yeah. And though you don't know what that you is, you just know what that you is not. And I'm not going to be her. Right. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. What's one thing that was different working with the coach? Once you were was it easier to work with a coach than doing it by yourself? Mentally?
Yes.
Yes, I bet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just because you focus so much on the whole body, my mindset, all of that. Alyssa does too. And even having someone to just communicate with, that's
knows what you're doing. like that
You
knows what
know
do.
my entire life. You know what I do for work. You know my boy drama. You know that, but you don't. You can approach it as a like almost an outsider. You're not like you never met my husband.
Yeah.
You don't know my boss. Not that my boss is bad, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I love my boss, but you don't know the
This
people
is
in
an
my
outside
life.
perspective.
So it's just an outside perspective.
Yeah.
That sometimes you need, and you need to hear different ideas. And if it's not, clearly I wasn't doing it bad, but I just I needed the guidance.
Yeah.
And I needed someone to talk to. I needed someone to just guide me in all
areas. Yeah. And that's, you always want that. Like really, like I always think like I've been with Dylan for almost 6 years. I don't really even see a time that I'm not going to be with Dylan. And though I do exactly what he does, it's just to have someone that understands your next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. That's the key. And two is a friend. Like that's huge. And we're very close, obviously. And that's important to me as a coach and then in my business because I've had not good coaches like that where they one chicken every other week, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how does that work? Like, I don't understand that, you know, because how can you grow as a woman when I only know your weight and macros every other week? Like, it's crazy, you know? So I'm so glad that we were your first coach because we got to protect you from other things that we don't even know about, you know?
All the horror stories that you read about, they exist. They're
They
real.
do. They exist so much.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears and go to show day. We're talking about show day.
Which is tomorrow.
We
are less than 24 hours out.
Yeah. We're going to be...
Finals are going to be tomorrow, like, right now. Mm-hmm.
Right now. But prejudging is where we got to focus. Okay. So what are you most excited about? What are you most excited about? With excitement and anxiety, anxiousness, those being two separate things.
Okay. I am most excited to see my whole package just come together. I mean, I have been working for this for 2 years essentially. And now it's finally here. And I mean, I am not a girly frou-frou, you know, I'm very much gym bro, like black, white, neutral, and I have a colored suit, I have nails, I am tan, like
hair,
I'm gonna do
makeup,
all the things, and just putting the whole package together and showcasing my work is what I'm most excited about, and everything I worked for.
Yes, and it's like painting. It's like painting or a sculpture, you know. And we've been sculpting this, and now all we need these last few people to put in these last few little pieces,
like the pottery, and now like we're going into the kiln or whatever. Some sort of art analogy.
Yes, that's what it is. And I'm so excited. Okay, so what are you most anxious about? And then describe the anxiousness, like where that's coming from.
Anxiousness. Because I've been trying really hard to like channel my anxiousness as just like, I'm not anxious, I'm just excited.
Yes.
So I think like just kind of maneuvering like everything, not tripping because again we're in heels, so like making sure that everything is just fluid and flowy, and I just want it to go how I envision it.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, when it comes to anxiety, that's nothing really to be anxious about because it's always going to be what it's going to be, you know. And so we've been doing the work. We're about to, even now we're going to practice on walking. Like we're going to make sure that we don't trip, even if we just pick up our feet. You know what I mean? So I always like to think, and to myself at least, what am I anxious about? Because you want to be anxious. If you're not anxious, then you don't care enough.
Yeah.
Almost. So I'm anxious about X, Y, and Z. All right. So now I've been practicing all this to make sure that when I get there, there ain't no anxiety even there because I just do what I practice. You know what I mean? So I'm proud of you for one, knowing the difference, channeling that, and then just focusing on how can I get that part out of here. So I don't have to worry about tripping.
Practice so that it's
Natural.
not even a thought.
An option.
Yeah, it's not even an option because I have dialed it in so much.
Yes. Okay. Nobody. Let me see. What would you tell? Okay, this will go. What would you tell day one Taylor about the whole last 2 years? What would you tell her if you could only tell her one thing?
Day one Taylor. Day one Taylor, this certain like check-in photo pops in my head.
Oh gosh.
Oh girl, that looks rough.
I have it.
Uh-huh.
I've been there.
I would tell day one Taylor, buckle up, sis. You're about to do it.
Yes.
And you
yes.
can.
Okay, yes.
You can.
Yes. Did she think that she couldn't?
She just was not confident in herself.
Yeah.
Was
she not confident in her ability or her body or her what was she not confident in?
She was not at all confident in her body. She was exhausted all the time. Sleep was all jacked up. Digestion was all jacked up. Just kind of like bleh.
Yeah.
And like emotionally, just kind of bleh.
Yeah.
Like I'm just kind of
here. Yeah.
So I would tell her that you can do it, and you are about to become who you were meant to be and who God made you to be.
Yeah. That's powerful.
And just another thing that I have developed in the last 2 years is my faith in God has so immensely grown, and for that I am very, very thankful for, and I really truly believe that God led me to Alyssa, which led me to you, which led me to bodybuilding. Like, I didn't choose bodybuilding, bodybuilding chose me.
Yeah.
Is what I truly, truly believe.
Yeah.
So.
And even with that, like, God chose bodybuilding for you.
Yes.
I love that. And I love that within Rare Fitness we can talk about God so easily. I love that. Like, I don't know how that happened, obviously, but I guess it's just from me just talking about it.
Yeah.
But I love that.
And as a, client, is that what you call me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
As a friend, client, everybody.
Someone you coach.
Yeah.
I super
Yeah.
appreciate that, because that is something that I want in a coach. I want to be able to
Because it all goes
talk
together.
about my faith, and you and I have conversations about God all the time, and I really think that is Him bringing you to me, and vice versa, and just
Yes.
It's all part of His plan.
It's all part of His plan, and the thing I think I was going to say to you earlier when we were talking about God, that He puts in my mind, He speaks to us through people, through our thoughts, through our dreams, through our daydreams. Like, He speaks to us where we see Him.
Yeah.
But if people don't look for Him, then they'll never see Him, they'll never hear Him. And that's where you get where you're here.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you are here.
And you're just a little lost.
Yeah, purpose, and I'm talking to Andy a lot about this right now. Like, you have to believe in something.
Yeah.
And I always say it, I never say, you gotta believe in God, because if you don't want to, you believe in the universe, that's fine. But if you don't believe in anything, that's the problem.
Yeah.
If you don't believe there's a God, then you're not gonna believe there's a devil. And if you don't believe there's a devil, then what has you pulling you to get that alcohol drink? If you don't believe that's the devil, then you don't stand a chance against that.
You have to have some sort of belief.
Yeah.
You have to have faith in something, whether that's God or I don't even know.
Well, the universe.
Buddha or the moons or the Big Bang, whatever, science, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to have faith, otherwise I feel like you float through life with no meaning.
You did. And there has to be a two-sided. You can't have good without bad. So everything has to go, it's all about balance, and for me, that helps me mentally compartmentalize. Okay, so the example, when I had the eating disorder and the devil, I could feel them on me, telling me what to do, telling me to binge and purge, eat, drink, all the alcohol, blah, blah, blah. if I would have thought it was me, I would have just spiraled into Gracie's just a piece of shit, you know. But when I said no, that's not you, Gracie. That's the devil. You don't like the devil. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? And being able to that has helped me so much. And the same thing goes with God. When I know that that's God, I can follow Him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's huge for me. It helps in every area of my life. Just being able to say yep and take me out of it, because then Gracie can do anything. You know what I mean? Okay. No matter what happens tomorrow, are you still going to be proud of yourself?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And obviously, I would love to come away with a win.
Yeah.
National qualify, whatever. All that shit.
Yeah.
If not, I am damn proud.
Yes.
I am really proud.
I'm so excited. What are your, and this will be the last one, and then we can go to the next thing.
Okay.
What, like, your realistic expectations for yourself tomorrow? What are they?
Okay. So I have goals, and I have categories and subcategories of those goals.
Let's go.
So my goal is, I'm competing in true novice, and open. My goal for all of those is to make first call-outs.
Okay.
I think that is very realistic. I think it would also be realistic to at least place in true novice and novice top 3. Obviously, the goal is to walk away with an overall win in everything. However, I realize that this is my first time, and there might be people who have been competing longer than I've been alive.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Obviously, the goal is to walk away with an overall.
Yes.
And I would love that.
Yes.
But I really just want to place top 3 in all 3.
Good. And then this is the other question I always ask competitors. If you win today or tomorrow, what will change on Sunday morning?
Nothing. Back to the
Then
grind.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Then that placement doesn't matter.
It really doesn't.
So that's always...
I get a sparkly medal or crown or whatever. Or I don't know.
Maybe all of it. I don't know. Like that's...
But like literally nothing. I'm still going to...
do exactly what we do.
Do exactly what we do.
That's huge. For me as coach, that's huge because...
The only thing that would change would be like the trajectory of future shows.
Yeah.
That would literally be it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's huge.
So.
And even like earlier this weekend, asked if you had any other shows that you wanted to do, and she's like, no, like one show at a time. And I know I've said that to you before, but I didn't know if you heard it or, and you just kept to it. Again, you trusted it, and I'm so thankful for that.
Because obviously, like, I look at today. Obviously, I've never competed before. I could go and totally fuck it all up. I'm not going to, but I could.
But you could also go and not like it.
Yeah, I could go and I could hate it.
Yeah.
I really don't think I'm going to.
Yeah.
But I could go and be like, oh my god, my ass was on a Jumbotron.
Yeah, not a fan.
But I don't perceive that happening, but yeah, I'm just like, Saturday, get my feedback. Well, first, Saturday, fall in love with it.
Yes.
And then get my feedback, because if my feedback is, girl, you gotta grow, which I do, you're always gonna have to grow. That's always gonna be.
That's always your feedback.
That's always your feedback. But like based on the level of growth that is needed, will determine. Okay, am I doing a show in 2 weeks? Am I doing a show in 2 months? Am I doing a show in 2 years?
Yes. 100%. And I love that. I love that about you, because again, that's the long term mindset.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm not here to just do it all right now.
No, it's not like quick and dirty, let's get a pro card. No.
Yeah.
There's no fun in that. What is the fun in like, oh, it's my first season, I've done 2 shows and I'm a pro. That's boring.
Right, well just...
Like, good for you. I'm so glad you spent so much time and you can do it. But like...
That's just very far and few between do that.
Hardly ever.
Ever.
Does it?
And it does never happens. I mean, there are very few times. Yeah. But then the journey, like, it's over. It's not really over. But in your head it is,
like,
you know.
I want to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
So I want to have fun with it. So
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna record tomorrow.
Okay.
And you're just gonna get up and just one thing at a time. Like on show day, it's just I make sure that my mind is just here. I'm here listening to my music. I'm here, get my makeup done, and like just chilling. No, nothing. There's nothing outside of these walls that you need to worry about.
Yep.
At all.
The building could be burning down, and I'm just gonna be in my zone.
Yes, and it's a fun zone.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, well, it's so nice to have you.
Yes,
Well, this is
thank you.
hers.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's do. Well, there's some more questions, but I was thinking let's do.
What time is it too?
Oh wait, yeah, you need to eat.
I gotta eat one more time.
Yeah. Go eat.
So.
And then we
BRB
do
gotta
the
eat.
reel, but I want you to do another reel. That'll be like a transition reel.